Welcome to FYI. I'm Barry ZeVAN, and I'm thrilled to have as my guest today Kenny Maurer, who is the longest tenured referee in the National Basketball Association, his 33rd year right now. And for those in the Twin Cities who recognize the name Maurer, indeed, yes. His cousin is Joe Maurer from the Minnesota Twins, one of the best baseball players ever, really. And I'm not just saying that because Kenny is here. And Kenny has quite a history in basketball, but also has created an incredible product devoted to health. And Kenny, great to see you.
Nice to be here, Barry. Thanks
Wonderful to see you.
Thanks, it's fun.
You're dressed so wonderfully. You should be hosting the show.
No. Look at you. Great.
Absolutely.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much. Proud of you. First of all, you're a native of the Twin Cities, is that correct?
Proud of it. Proud of being a native of, born and raised in St. Paul, Minnesota. Yeah.
Oh, terrific. And it just, the creation of these bars, they call them Maurer Sports Nutrition Bars, came from all your years of seeing athletes possibly in trouble health-wise, and
yeah, that's probably a pretty good way of putting it. I mean, I've been refereeing after I left college. I played, sports in college at the University of Minnesota. I played with Paul. Paul Molitor was our shortstop. I was the second baseman. So
wow.
Paul's a hell of a guy and a good friend of mine. But anyway, I started refereeing when I was young, and I became a high school, college, and a professional referee. And through my many travels and my many locker rooms and I've come across many supplements, many bars, products, always thinking that if they were in a locker room, they must be really healthy, right? I mean, because these are athletes, and then when you get up to the professional ranks, these are the finest athletes in the world, they must be being served the finest ingredients, right, known to mankind. Well, I was dumb, and I was uninformed, and I realized that no, this wasn't the case. So as my career moved forward, I became more involved with trainers, nutritionalists, doctors, physicians, and I became more interested. It also evolved from my wife too, who's very health orientated, and I started realizing that these bars or these products that were left in locker rooms, the sugar intake or the preservatives or the artificial flavors involved in these things, they weren't healthy, Barry. They weren't healthy. In fact, they not only weren't, a lot of them didn't taste good, but they just plain weren't good for you. So I said, well, I can't control a lot of things in my life, but I can control what I put in my mouth. And so someone told me a long time ago, why don't you put your money where your mouth is? Well, I've got a lot of my own money invested in this, and I'm proud to say that. And I partnered with a very astute, very good friend of mine now, Tim Braun, my partner, and we just said, let's try to create things. No, let's try to create things that are actually what other people say they are, but aren't. Mm-hmm. And that's what got me started, and that's what started the bars. And I've got collagen shots that you can drink. I'm coming out with powders. There's many products on the horizon, and I'm real proud of them. Protein minis. I'm proud of creating things that a professional athlete could eat, and a mother could also give to her 6-year-old child.
Wow.
That's what I'm doing.
That's phenomenal. Now, they're called Maurer Sports Nutrition Bars, is that correct?
They're on the website. If you're on the website, MaurerSportsNutrition.com, and you'll see the entire website. There's the various bars and the minis and the shots and stuff like that, the energy shots. And there's product evolving all the time, and it's actually exciting, and I'm proud of it. I mean, I'm not, yes, would I like to be extremely successful money-wise? Who wouldn't be? I'm not trying to kid, but I'm trying to create something that first of all is healthy, and I don't make the money that some of these other, I call them sugar bars, make, but that's okay. I want to create something that I'm proud of, that I know is healthy and good for people, that's organic, and then we'll see what happens.
You spoke about the evolution of this to where it's become. Mm-hmm. I would imagine that it evolved maybe from one incident, perhaps, that you encountered.
It's funny you say that, because yes, I think that's good. I'm glad I'm allowed to talk about that. I've always been involved in health. I was a minor at the University of Minnesota in health, and I had a major in education. And so I've always been involved with it, always thinking that eating that muffin was healthy. and I realize the muffin is not very healthy for you, or realizing that the whatever, I'm not going to maybe that the burger was healthy if it was cooked well done, and different things like that. And so I started studying and reading. Very many people, they have no idea what they're eating. They have no idea what they're putting in their mouth. And I found that, first of all, I found it funny, now I find it a little bit sad. And people are wondering, why is there more diabetes? Why is there more cancers? Why is there more prostate cancers? Why is there more breast cancers? Why is there more dementia? Why is there more Alzheimer's? Well, I can tell you, I mean, I can explain it to you if you want, but people don't want to hear about it. So I'm now associating myself with people that really do care. You know, the Lifetime Fitnesses of the world, or the Roush's grocery stores of the world, or even CVS. I'm so proud of them. I mean, the first company, major company that ever, there's not a cigarette that's allowed to be sold in their stores. I'm proud of them, and they're huge on diabetes, and my bar is being endorsed by them. But about 10, 15 years ago, my mother became ill. My mother became ill. She had, and we didn't know why. She was forgetting a lot. She dementia / Alzheimer's. She died about 4 years ago. And most wonderful woman I've ever known. I miss her every day. But I started researching, Barry, what is the cause of dementia? What's the cause of Alzheimer's? Well, sugar is directly correlated with dementia.
Oh, wow.
Sugar intake is a direct correlation.
Wow.
And so am I going to turn around and say, well, it's the cause of dementia? Well, I'm not going to say that. But sugar is a direct correlation, sugar intake. And my mother was a sugar fiend. She liked to drink her coffee with creams and sugars, and she loved bars, and she liked to make brownies. And so I'm looking back, and I tell people, I can avoid that. I've been sugar-free for 5 years.
Wow.
I've been gluten-free for 5 years as well. I mean, I can avoid some of these things, and my wife happens to be a wonderful cook, and I can still eat the same way. It's not as easy on the road, but I can eat the same way, and yet that's what's allowed me to stay refereeing for 33 years in the NBA. I'm healthier, I think, now. I think I'm as in good a shape. I'm not as fast or strong because of my age, but I'm probably in better health, and I'm 13 pounds less than when I played baseball at the University of Minnesota. So, if you can hold your weight down and you can eat good healthy fats. People think, well, it's got a lot of fat. Well, is it good healthy fat? Is it organic fat, or is it horrible greasy fat? I mean, these are the things that are misleading to people. What about the calories? Are they good healthy calories, or are they horrible fat, horrible ugly sugar, preservative calories? Tell me, that's how you determine your intake and what's healthy for you or not. And there's so many great books out. Gwyneth Paltrow, the actress, or a lady called the Food Babe, or there's so many great people that are trying to help people say, listen, don't believe what industries and what a lot of these news stations or these so-called nutritionalists say. Read, and there's proof of why things are healthy and why they're unhealthy, Barry. It's just you have to educate yourself.
So if a person, I have to admit, I am absolutely a sugar freak. I eat candy bars.
Sure.
I have regular Cokes instead of Diet Cokes, et cetera, et cetera. And I am on chemo pills right now, as I mentioned, and they're fine. They're doing their job for skin cancer. But
good.
Anyway, I've lost a little hair. The hair's getting thin, but I always say, who wants fat hair?
Hair's overrated. It's overrated.
I'd take some back if I could. But anyway, how difficult is it to kick the sugar habit? I mean, you can't do it cold turkey, can you, or can you?
No, there's sugars in everything, and that's what my partner Tim and I are, and I have a formulator that I work with that's absolutely tremendous. There are so many things like there's honey, there's natural sugars in fruits, there's dates. There's a product that I carry with me on the road. I wish I had it here. It's called stevia. It's zero on the glycemic level. It's a little liquid or powder that comes from the stevia plant. That and that's what forms. And I put that in all my teas or my wife's coffees or whatever we choose to drink. And it allows me to. She puts it in like coconut palm sugar. That's a natural sugar as opposed to a succulus or a man-made artificial sugars. I'm so against refined sugars. That's the poisons in the world. So there's many ways to research and eat foods and products that don't have any sugar but might have your coconut palms. Like, we don't eat milk, but my wife makes her own almond milks. And so there's different ways to do it. And I don't think, mainly because of my wife, but I don't think I've eaten healthier in my life than the last 8, 10, 12 years that I've worked on my diet exclusively, and then started the company, like I say, a few years back. And it's been, I always thought I was healthy, but that quarter pounder with cheese just isn't really that healthy, even though it tastes great.
Yeah.
But so many things that they put in, ingredients they put in these foods to make them taste good, they almost become addictive. And just like the Coca-Cola you talked about, read an article the other day, 50% of the kids or young adults 22 years and under have never tried a Coke.
Wow.
So people, societies, I don't want to get in trouble with Coca-Cola here, but people in societies are getting it. They're finding, they're starting to, and I acquired to the women. My buddies get mad at me, you're just trying to, get in good favor with the women. No, I'm not. Women, when it comes to nutrition and health, are smarter than men. It's a fact. They read labels, they study, and they buy for the families, and that's why a lot of my products are guaranteed around women.
One of my dear friends, former Olympic skier, Susie Chaffee.
Oh, sure.
Hopefully Susie will watch this on
Love
YouTube.
To meet her.
Yeah, well, she lives in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico now, but she's been down there for a lot of years. But Susie has been preaching this forever. And Susie is, I won't give her age, but she's up there.
I know about it. I know.
And she said,
that doesn't matter.
She said, she's 7, I think Susie's 70 now.
Wonderful.
71.
Wonderful.
But God bless her heart. And she, of course, has skied all over the world, and her figure is still the same as it was when she was 20 years old. And she loves this stevia plant.
I don't want to live by it, but it's allowed us to still have a sweet tea, or allowed us to have maybe, my wife incorporates things in different, cakes or cookies or things we make, and it's allowed me to still have the same, but yet it's healthy.
Yeah. We discovered prior to starting the program that your wife is from my hometown, Pittsburgh.
Yes.
And so there's a lot to discuss, especially the fact that Pittsburgh women know what they're talking about.
Well, she'll love to hear that. She'll love to hear that. Well, like I said, I got married later in life, and I just, love and think the world of my wife. But she's all over it. She goes on the Dr. Mercola website and reads different articles and fanzines. You educate yourself.
Maybe this is a naive question or a very sophomoric question, but how many of the Maurer bars can a person eat, say, in one day?
Oh, that's a good question. The protein bar. There's a lot of people that don't get enough protein. Now, again, I'm not telling people they should have too much protein either. Let's make sure there's a happy medium, and you can get your level of protein consumption. You can get that, calculated. There's tests that you can do. And as we get older in life, a lot of adults don't get enough protein or collagen in their system. That's just a fact of life. So, like I eat a protein bar at every halftime of every game, because athletes, and I have whey protein in my bar, because weightlifters, they like the whey, they like the milk product. I'm creating some other bars that are going to be 100% organic that don't have any whey protein at all, but have maybe pea or hemp or different nuts. There's different types of protein that you can use. So there's different variations of health. I've created the organic trim bar, where it's 100% organic. It's being endorsed by the American Diabetes Association. It's vegan. It's 100% organic. It's I think 7 net carbs, very little if any sugar, and it tastes like a Snickers. It tastes wonderful. Well, that's not necessarily a protein bar, Barry, but it's just a healthy midday snack that helps curb your appetite, because it has 450 milligrams of xylitol, which is also a fat-burning ingredient. So you come up with these different ideas and try to create healthy products that serve a purpose, and there's different purposes for different products.
Yeah, and for sugar junkies like myself, the substitute works, because our dear friend Tim Braun, your partner, thanks to Tim, I met you and am able to have you on the show. And Tim gave me some samples, and I'll tell you, I did feel healthier, and it feels so silly to say that. I feel healthier, I feel better. Well, maybe it's not silly. I mean, it's wonderful to say it, and the fact that the flavor is still there, because as you know, maybe some products that you know, would be similar, or say that they're similar, they don't taste so good. You've developed something that really
Well, that's
tastes
the thing.
very good.
It doesn't matter how healthy it is, Barry. If it doesn't taste good, people aren't going to buy it. So it has to taste good. So
Yeah.
I mean, I've worked with different formulas to come up with different things and change formulas because they might have been very healthy, but they didn't taste like I wanted them to taste.
Yeah.
So they have to taste good. And the protein bars, I think, taste phenomenal. I think in the organic trim, like I say, I compare it to a Snickers bar, which used to be my all-time favorite bar. So no, there's nothing. There are ways. Now, organic had a bad rap years ago. Oh, organic tastes like cardboard. It did, but now through time, it's so healthy, and it is clean. And maybe it's a mindset. It's the way we live. You try to take care of yourself health-wise. You try to take care of yourself hygiene-wise. You try to take care of yourself by what you put in your system. It's something that's kind of, it's just the way you want to live, I think. And I know I do, and so I'm very conscious of it. But I call it, the word healthy is so misunderstood. Everything's healthy. What does healthy mean? Everything's natural. What does natural mean? But I call it, it's clean. The ingredients are clean. The ingredients are good, clean, organic, from the earth ingredients. And you're right, Barry, it tastes really good. And so I used to like an Almond Joy bar. So that's why I made the chocolate chip, that's why I made the chocolate coconut crunch, because it tastes like an Almond Joy, I mean.
Wow.
So that's why I did it. I tried to make the organic trim because I used to like Snickers bars. Well, I try not to eat sugar anymore, so I'm trying to create things that don't, and I just, and I tell people, try mine. If you don't like it, then don't buy it again. But whatever you do, there's a lot of good, healthy, organic product out there. Eat healthy.
Do you have those comparisons on your website? I mean, like what you mentioned regarding the coconut versus the Almond Joy. Do you have those comparisons?
We're doing some things on the website, always being updated.
Okay.
We also have gone on Amazon and done different things with Amazon and tried to explain to people why we're doing what we're doing and just what collagen, say, does for you, things like that. You're right in what you say. You have to educate people, and I'm not going to educate everybody. I'm just not. They don't want to hear it, and that's okay. And I whatever people want to do, they do. But there are some people that, there are reasons that people aren't feeling well or they're not healthy or whatever. And a lot of it, especially with your stomach wall, a lot of it has to do with your digestive system and what you're eating. So
how many varieties of the bars are there?
we have right now we have 7. I think it's 7. Protein bars. They've all been reformulated, and they're all. And I always try to, make them even better. It's the same basic bar, but maybe a twitch here and there. And then there's 2 organic trim. We have 3 more that can come out next week if we want to. And then there's we have a collagen shot for women and a collagen shot for men. The collagen shot for women is going to be released in 30 to 60 days. The collagen shot for men is already out there. And the only difference is there might be a little turmeric or a little B3 in there, things that women are telling me that is prevalent in their diet. They like to see it in the collagen shot. So I listen and I research and I read and what's healthy and what's good, as long as it's organic, as long as it's healthy, as long as it's, I hate that word healthy, but as long as it's clean, as long as it's when you use collagen, use the finest New Zealand bone-based collagen in the world. That's what you use. That's the best collagen. It's non-GMO. There's no genetically modified organisms. There's no gluten. There's no preservatives. No artificial flavors. I mean, you do the best you can, and then people either they see the advantage of doing that, and it's not going to happen overnight. Like you say, you gotta work with it.
And now collagen. Forgive my ignorance.
No, not at all.
Tell us the benefits of collagen again. I'm sorry.
Collagen, and again, this is almost new in my arsenal. In that I was, I've never been a fan of soy. Whey has its advantages and disadvantages. I like whey, but again, it's mainly for the so-called weightlifter, whatever. I mean, collagen affects 90% of our body. It affects your hair, your skin, your nails, your bones, your cartilage, your ligaments. It affects 90% of your body, Barry. And I'm telling you, I've been reading more and more on it. And as people get older, they produce less and less. They need more and more. So the collagen shot is probably going to be best served more for elderly than it is for the young. However, the young, like me with my knees, cartilage and ligaments, women love it. Women love it. What's in Botox? Collagen.
Wow.
So that's why the women, they're way ahead of us, Barry. I'm saying it again. They're way ahead of us. And they realize the importance of collagen because of the skin, the nails, the this, the that. Why does our skin droop? That's lack of collagen. And so in our necks, in here, that's lack of collagen. And so that's why I've created the collagen shot.
Now you can get the collagen shot over the counter, is that correct?
You can get the collagen shot online. It's also going into CVS in 30 to 60 days.
Okay.
It's also in, there's a few other stores you have to talk, Associated Grocers has them in different stores. Lifetime Fitness, I'm not sure if it's in Lifetime yet, I'll have to ask Tim. But it's made, you know, I always tell people, when in doubt, just go online. It's shipped in your house in 2 days. You know, order so much product, shipping's free. You know.
So when you say a shot, it's in a little bottle?
It's in a little bottle. It's a 3-ounce bottle, and it tastes strawberry, banana. And you know, what are the two most, I guess, tastes that people kind of generally, they say strawberry and banana. So I made a strawberry and banana one. I might, you know, I want to make a cinnamon one. There's different flavors that I want to come out with. But again, it's 20 grams of the healthiest, non-GMO, healthiest New Zealand-based collagen in the world. Wow. And basically it's 20 grams. That's basically what it is. It's collagen. And then you have a few other natural flavors and a few other acetic acids that with the strawberry banana to make it, give it a decent taste. Because again, if it doesn't taste good, what? They aren't going to buy it. And so I'm real proud of that. I'm on collagen every day. And again, because of my knees and, you know, I've had meniscus surgeries and runners and stuff like that, I sure hope they read up on the advantages of collagen and start taking it, whether they take it from me or some people take a powder. They get the big tub, they take boom, and they want to put it in there with their water, and then it doesn't taste all that good, and then they have to add some stevia. Well, how about just taking a little shot and you boom? I mean, that's what I tell. We're meeting with a lot of CrossFit people. Some of those people, do they work out? Are they in shape? And they see it. You don't have to talk to them very long before they know all about collagen.
Thank you for that description.
Yes. Yes.
You have just educated a lot of people,
well,
in my opinion.
Well, I'm being educated all the time. I am not a guru. I am not, you know, I'm reading and I'm learning myself, and I'm trying to educate myself.
Educate us, please, about refereeing, because for me, I have to confess I'm not a basketball fan, but when I do watch it, first of all, it was historically said that it's the most watched sport in the United States. And so when I do watch it, of course, it is so fast, and it's back and forth and up and down.
Tell me about it.
Well, yeah, you've lived it for 33 years, 39 years actually. My reference point is umpires in baseball and how they get chewed out by players. I don't think too much by your cousin Joe, but if he has a problem, he will at least look at them.
Oh, he'll let them know.
Yeah. So when you got into this arena, literally and figuratively, were you prepared for the fact that maybe some players are going to come after you, or some teams are going to come after you and say, "Oh my gosh, you got that all wrong," or whatever?
Well, first of all, there's no shame in not being a basketball fan. My wife, again, who I adore, she'll come to basketball games and sometimes she'll read a book. So there's no shame in that. I love her to death. I could care less whether she likes the fact or that I'm a professional referee or not. But again, she's become a little bit of a fan, but I'm teaching her all the time on what traveling is. So that's okay. But as far as, I started years ago because my father was a high school and college basketball referee and football, and I used to go watch him on Friday and Saturday nights when I was a little kid, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years old, sit in the stands and watch everybody yell and scream at him. So it wasn't that I was getting into something I didn't understand. And I could never quite understand it because, you know, they didn't know my dad. Why are they yelling at my dad? He's really a great guy. And I found out it's just, that's the way of people. They get so involved emotionally in their team, and they're watching just one team. They're not watching the other team. And so it's very, very, and you know, that's just part of the so-called game. And there's nothing I can do too much about the fans on the floor. I mean, they can't come on the floor. They can't throw anything. You know, the security in the NBA is excellent, and they take great care of us. But on the floor, I have to manage the game. And the referees in my league do it better than anybody in the world, I feel. And again, managing the game, what does that mean? That means you're managing 10 very, very, very emotional, very talented human beings that probably have never been taught that they were wrong too many times in their life. So, but basically most of them are pretty good guys, pretty good young men. But you have to treat everybody the same, which means a foul is a foul, traveling is traveling. I don't really give a hoot and heck who you are. And although they think we probably favored Michael Jordan, or that we think we probably favored Larry Bird and Magic Johnson and LeBron James, well, guess what? They're just better. They're just better. They're great athletes, and most of the time, do we miss them? Yes, we do. We miss plays on them just like we miss plays on everybody else. Because as you said, Barry, they're so fast. They go so fast, and a little tip on the arm, I can't, if I didn't, maybe I missed it. That affected his shot, and I'll get to him later in the game, and I'll say, I think I missed it. Sorry, whatever. But you learn that the only way to stay in the league and to demand respect is to be able to discipline them. So if they get out of hand, you better be able to talk to them. And then if you don't talk to them, you better be able to issue what we call a techno foul. And if you have to eject them, you eject them. And they have to know that, I'm out here doing the best I can. And if I miss a play, I miss a play. And I'm going to tell you I miss a play. And I'm going to tell you I'm sorry I missed a play. Now, if that's not good enough, then by the end of the game, there's going to be one of us staying here. And it ain't going to be you. And so, but early on in my career, dealt with more of that. Now, I've learned I have great respect for the player, great respect for the coaches, what they go through and the stresses and the pressures they have. But again, the reason that some of the referees are better than other referees, sure, they get plays right. They call plays, they're good at that. But they manage people and they manage games. And that's something that you have to learn, Barry, that comes with 39 years of experience.
Yeah, and I would assume because of those numbers of years of experience that you've had, that they respect you too.
I think so. I think in order for them to respect you, you have to give it, and they better know that I respect them. I mean, some of the great players, in our league, we all know who they are. LeBron or Steph Curry or Durant or whatever. I mean, there's no secrets here. They're all great. Jimmy Butler from the Timberwolves. There's great players. They're all. I could name 20 of them. I just refereed the All-Star game 2 years ago. And I really do believe football players are great athletes. Golfers are great athletes. Hockey players are great athletes. Soccer, but I think the greatest athletes in the world are NBA basketball players. And I do respect them, but I also demand respect. So if you think I'm going to respect you and you're not going to respect me, well, I'm sorry, that's not the way it works, Barry. That's not the way it works.
Oh, I love it. Well, I can't thank you enough. We have about a minute left. I have the shameless plug time for my book.
Please do. I'm going to buy. I can't wait. I've seen the cover, read part of it. I'm going to buy one tonight when I get home because it's such an interesting read. I love movies. I love everything that would be in the book. So I don't really care what anybody does tonight. I'm buying one. How's that?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I deeply appreciate it, to say the least. It's called Barry ZeVAN, My Life Among the Giants, and as I've said a few times, it's not possibly what you think it is. It's a history of broadcasting as well as movies and theater and so forth. Endorsed on the back by my dear friend, Vice President Mondale, who was a guest on this show, by the way,
good man.
a few months back.
I know his son.
And Ted Mondale, yes, and then Sam Donaldson, Rudy Maxa. So it is on Amazon, so if you feel so inclined, please join Kenny. And thank you so much, Kenny.
Oh, I've enjoyed it, Barry. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. And we'll see you next time.